to the Pre-Show Podcast. I'm Jared Collins. I'm your host. Joining me today is Renee Silverman. She is with Luggage. And where are you joining us from today, Renee?
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm in Vernon Hills, Illinois.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so how close is that to Chicago?
We're probably about 35 minutes northwest of the city. So
Okay,
close. We get a lot of customers driving up from, we're driving up from the city. We're just off the highway, so we're very conveniently located.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your today. We just kind of wanted to get to know you better, your store, fun stuff like that, the history. How did you get started in the luggage industry or this travel industry?
So, we're going back many years and, my father started this business. So it's a family-owned businesses like many, in the luggage industry, we're all started as family-owned businesses and we are the same. So my dad started this business in 1947 and he was really a fixture in the Chicago market. He was one of the first people to go into an independent mall as a retailer. So that was in 1969. And so I was a small child at the time. So I have a lot of fond memories of working with my dad. And then, jumping forward a few years, he turned the business over to my two older brothers. And they basically ran the company for about 40 years. And about halfway through their period of running the company, I joined them. I worked for them for about 20 years. And then in 2018, when they retired, my husband and I kind of purchased the company and started over as Luggage 2.0. And it is, it's the same in certain ways, but different in many ways. So it's sort of the company and it's my vision of what this company should be in for the times that we're living in.
That's awesome. So how do you decide what type of products you carry at your store?
Well, I mean, we need to be a full service travel store. So we really carefully vet all the brands that we bring into the store. We want to be able to offer something to every type of traveler. Some people travel frequently and they're willing to invest in higher end luggage like Briggs and Riley or Toomey or high end Travel Pro. Some people travel and, they travel once or twice a year. And so we carry, a lot of product for that customer as well. But even in a lower price point, luggage, we try to have very carefully vetted products that we feel are top quality that we can offer. So we feel, good standing behind everything that we sell in our store. But, of course, the luggage is just part of the story.
Yeah. And so how did you discover the Travel Goods Association? Was this something that your father, your brothers came across?
Yeah, I mean, they've always been involved. I mean, many years ago, it's evolved many times. It was the LLGMA, if I'm going back, several decades. It was the Luggage and Leather Goods, Association, something of that acronym. And there have just been many iterations of the Travel Goods Association over the years. So, it's always a great organization to be part of. I think that it has seriously evolved in the most positive ways since COVID. I feel like it's really become, it's evolving for the way that the world is evolving and the way travel has evolved, but it's also served a purpose to bringing other dealers close together, like forming a group that is really, we all benefit from. We benefit from each other's experience, each other's knowledge. So it's become a really important part of our business.
So coming back to the show, how many times do you think you've been to the show? Countless or?
Well,
Uh,
I guess this could be a good time to share that little secret that I was going to tell you. I've been coming to the show since I was 22.
oh my
And
gosh.
and I'm going to age myself, but I don't care. It is what it is. That was 40 years ago. So March of
Oh, wow. I would have never
2025.
guessed. I was thinking you were going to say maybe 30 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there you go. March 2025 will be the 40th year that I met my husband at that show in Vegas
Oh, really?
in 1985. March of 1985, my husband and I met at the Luggage show in Vegas, and here we are, business partners 40 years later.
Oh my goodness.
And
That is so funny. So was he like a dealer for one of these
he
brands
was he
or?
was a competitor. He was a competitor at the time. He and my sister-in-law, his sister, who actually works for us now, by the way, they had their own business that his father had started. So they ran a business for 25 years in the city in Chicago. So they were friendly competitors at the time. And, I actually wasn't even in the
That
business yet then. I was
that is
working at a
awesome.
different company, but I was 22 years old and saw a cute luggage guy in a booth, and my sister-in-law took it from there, got us introduced.
That's great.
That was it.
That is so fun. So tell us kind of more about like. So you're saying that the travel goods since the show, since COVID, there has been some changes. What kind of exciting things have you noticed?
Well, I mean, I think the whole industry has had to evolve in so many ways. I mean, you know, from the days when we were just independent mom and pop stores to, the whole world that we live in today where you can buy everything on a deal. Our vendors are really our biggest competitors these days, and Amazon and, all the marketplaces that exist today that have really changed the face of retail for everyone. And, we're no exception to that. So we've had to evolve and figure out, what is our value in this industry? What can we offer? If, we're price competitive, but, prices are so fluid online that we can't always keep up and we can't always be the lowest price. Amazon sometimes dips below a reasonable selling price, but we have so much more to offer, in terms of the level of service that we give in our stores, the way that we know the industry, we know products, we know the trends in the travel industry, we know the best items to recommend beyond a piece of luggage. And that is, what we became known for. One of my favorite catchphrases of COVID was, we're so much more than luggage. And really, truly, we are. We're so much more than luggage. We are everything that you could possibly want or need to make every trip less stressful, more comfortable, more efficient, and more convenient. So,
Yeah.
whatever that is, we've got it. And I always say, if we don't have it, you probably don't need it.
Nice. So yeah, that's what's so great about going into a retailer that I've noticed is you guys have so much knowledge and you guys can help prepare for those trips.
Right.
When you're coming to the TGA, how does this help you in what value does it bring you guys in your
I
company?
mean, there's so many layers to that. I mean, obviously, seeing product in person rather than looking at an item online is a much more valuable experience in terms of our being able to evaluate how it fits into our product mix. Looking at something online just isn't the same as looking at products in person and really determining, are they going to add value to what we currently sell? So there's the product aspect of it. It's also building relationships with vendors and talking about things that are important to our business relationship that go beyond the products. How can we work together as a partnership? Who else are you selling to? Are you selling to Amazon where I'm going to see this $140 duffel for $89 tomorrow? So those are, really relevant and important questions for us. But, how we can really have meaningful partnerships. And sometimes it goes beyond just the actual product. I've done a number of TV appearances in Chicago. And for each one of those, I partner with a group of different vendors for whatever products I'm going to show for that exhibit. So for that segment. So there's just, I'm building relationships that go beyond just the products that I sell. It's, how are we going to work together? And this benefits both of us, and, getting good word out there that, this is something that you sell and that we can carry in our store. And so there's just a lot of layers to the relationships. And then, there's always the collaboration with other dealers. We've developed really close relationships with other people in our industry, and, understanding what some other dealers have, like us, retailers have success within their stores is very helpful and valuable. So there's a lot of layers to it, but that's important too.
Okay. So if I'm new, say I'm a brand and I just come out with a new bag, how do I approach you as a buyer? And how do I build that relationship with you? What would be some good advice for some of the
I
new guys
mean,
coming into the field?
that question would be different for different brands. If you're a brand that I'm already working with and I'm familiar with you, then there's a different path. We just need to be have good communication back and forth that, hey, we have something new. It's really, this is what's great about it. Really educating me on what you have that's new and why it's great is helpful. If I have to find out about it because I'm perusing your website, I'm not going to know enough to really champion the product. So that's sort of something to consider. And if it's a brand I'm not familiar with at all, then just introducing, let's get introduced to one another. This is what I have to offer. We're a new brand. This is, what our goals are. This is what our focus is. So yeah, it's kind of different depending on what brand it is.
And are those easy conversations to have as you're just walking by a booth, or do you typically set up meetings outside of your time there on the show?
So I do typically set up appointments with, brands I know I want to see, but the whole reason that we're going is to meet new people and see what else is out there and see who else is out there and what other brands that we may have seen at a show before but not really delved into before. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely on the prowl for new vendors that we're not currently working with. And we want to see everything that's new. We want to have the latest and the greatest in every product category in our store. So that's
Is
absolutely
there?
conversations we want to
That's
have.
awesome. Okay. Is there any brands that you're looking for that maybe haven't come to the show in the past that you would love to see
I
them in
mean,
person? Or
I'm continuously having conversations with Travel Pro to be at the show. We happen to be a big Travel Pro store. I know there are some people in the industry that work with them, others don't. Um, that's sort of a frustration for me. We do very well with the brand, but the communication isn't good. I mean, there'd be a lot of benefits for the specialty channel to having them there, where we could see new products and know what's coming over the course of the next year. The communication, could really be greatly improved, and that would be helpful to everyone involved. So yeah, that's a brand I'd really like to see at the show.
okay, cool. Well, where can one find you online, your store, and
You can
yeah,
find us hopefully everywhere. I mean, the main place is our website, irvsluggage.com. We just relaunched the website about 6 months ago, and we think it's very user friendly. We introduced a bridal registry because I think that's kind of a cool idea. So we're kind of floating that out there. We've had a few people use it and add us to their Zola or not registries for luggage and travel accessories. Um, you can find us, of course, on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So we're kind of everywhere. We try to be everywhere.
thank you so much. Well, I really enjoy your time today. Thank you again. You can meet Renee at the show as one of the buyers for Irv's Luggage, as well as many other buyers, many other brands. The show's coming up March 25th through the 27th. Make sure you're there, and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.